Hello, storyteller, storytelling Ron. This is so cool. I'm using OBS and I now can look at that on a big screen. I have like this teleprompter thing, but it's really big now because the actual OBS is over here on the second screen, and you can actually project. There's an option to right click on there and project it to another screen, just the preview of the things. I'm just letting you know. So it's nice and big here now. Because before it'd always be pretty small because I was using the OBS. I didn't know I could do that. Anyway, so the OBS is running over there and I can see myself over there, but it projects a big screen on this other screen here, so I can see you better now, or myself rather. Okay, but I want to go through, this is Friday, the worst day to put a video on YouTube, and not that I get that many views either way, but I want to go through some news because I haven't done anything in a while, and I'm kind of trying not to be honest, but I just feel like doing it right now because I'm here. So, decline of Christianity in the U.S. has slowed, may have leveled off. So there's been a decline everywhere in the world of Christianity. And I know atheists have been celebrating that, and I feel like progressive Christians are celebrating that because of diversity, convoluting the faith, with love, but no truth and no justice. So if you can see that the Christianity is failing everywhere, the Christianity in Europe is really bad, like going to church every week. So that's pretty frightening. And Muslims are here in America are almost matching the Jews. So, and Islam, and I'll just say it now, it's just my logic and reasoning. Islam is not compatible with the U.S. or with the West. It doesn't allow for freedom of religion. It's only... It has a taqiyya, which is it can deceive, and it has jizya, not Jesus, jizya, which is a tax on Christians and Jews that they must do or they will be killed. Forced conversion, or jizya, or slavery. That's the options for non-believers, and Jews and Christians especially in Islam. And they can do taqiyya, which means they can lie about it, which is their truth. That's a truth to Islam. They can lie about the oppression of Islam to further Islam, and then attack when we're weakest. So that's what they do. They're very polite and nice when they're in the under 10%, 5%, 10% population. But once they get past 10%, 20%, they become terrorist organizations, and terrorists, and terrorize, and start doing the jizya thing, not Jesus, the tax thing, the forced submission thing. And I do not fear Islam. Islam is not what I fear. Well, I don't even fear it, but what the problem is that we Christians are submitting ourselves, are surrendering ourselves to paganism, to secularism, to progressives, and that's what makes Islam strong. Is, as you can see, you notice that as church and Christianity becomes weaker, the left, the Democrats, the socialists, the Marxists, the communists, they bring in Islam. They bring in, they flood they don't know this, but their goal is just to end Jesus Christ and Christianity. That is their ultimate goal, and whether they know it or not. So that's what they're working on. And Buddhism is whatever to them. Hindu is a paganism, but Islam is their foot soldiers. Their way of getting destroying and undermining Christianity the most. So that's why they want to flood Europe and America with Muslims, and then they scream and defend Islam, even though it directly attacks their beliefs of perversity and homosexuality, LGBTQ, and all that. Thusly, I don't really go after Islam directly like some really good guys here, David Wood on YouTube does, because you have to study it all, and I just don't care to and have the time or whatever inclination, because when I have read about how powerful Islam has been, it's always been because of the Christianity have weak or infighting or whatever, and not until, and when they become strong, they defeat Islam. And historically, that's what I've seen. But it's when Christians become sort of secular or weaker on their own that they can't, that Islam becomes strong. So that's why my sort of focus is on paganism in America, the Democrat sort of power over the political structure of America. Anyway, so I want to go so this is this whole thing here, but just to do the Pew Research, show you that And as you can see, there's sort of maybe a reversal right now, but of course you can see why with MAGA and Trump and the realization of how horrible the Biden is and all the LGBTQ, because they were running the government. Separation of church and state hoopla has obviously been exposed as a lie. So here's a chart of freedom in the world, Statistica, and a lot of this stuff I got from either Not the Bee or Gateway Pundit, or follow the links kind of thing. But those are the two main sources of news I have. I have a couple others, but Breitbart that I go to, and then kind of go X and kind of go wherever. But anyway, how unfree is the world today? So there's actually a decline of freedom, I believe. But just if you look at this map, this wonderful map here, you can see that. Guess where the free is the green, obviously, and then the least free is the purple. Guess where Christianity is the weakest? I wonder if you could guess. Yeah, let's look at these colors here. That's where it's the weakest. Christianity is obviously all the free areas are Christian or Catholic. And the Catholicism here is still kind of weak. It's got a lot of Marxism and socialism is coming in, and which is atheism. Atheism over here. This is all atheist, not free there. This is, I don't know if this is strange that it's free, but it's only free for a little while because China keeps messing up Mongolia. No freedom there. No freedom in the Middle East, obviously. Barely some freedoms here. There. Oh, look, in the Jewish area in Israel, there's a bit of freedom, of course. But this is all Christianity right here. And I don't know. Atheists look at that and go, I don't see the correlation. I don't see the correlation at all. This is all Christianity right here. Christianity. I can see my cursor there. This is all Christianity, and atheists just don't see the correlation. They don't see it. No, no see, no hear, no speak. Don't see it. But that's atheism for you, and that's what I believe in fighting. The church, and the answer is, well, prayer first. That's the best thing you can do is pray. But secondly is church, joining churches, evangelism, ministry, fellowship, because we need to bring back the church into the culture. And the church is very weak in Europe, and it's getting weaker here in the U.S. I believe weak people that attend church weekly in Europe right now is like 10% or less, and people that attend church in the U.S. weekly is like 30% or less. So, if you're wondering why all this paganism and LGBTQ is a part of our government, because remember the left believes that their religion is a totalitarian government regime. They don't question that at all. They just want Christianity out. Separation of church and state is literally what they want. Separation of the church and state. And the only, obviously there's a whole historical precedence of Jefferson saying that, but he said it because we were all Christian at the time. The context was everyone was Christian. They didn't want the state to control the church. And today, we Christians still believe in that, but we definitely want the church to control the government. We want the church to influence the state, the church to affect laws and legislation, because laws and legislation are based off of morality. Hello. So we have to get off this thing where the atheists are going to do what the atheists do. Evil is going to do what evil does. Let's not question that. The question is, what are the good going to do? Because we have the freedom to decide to be cowards or brave, and we need to be brave. We need to be Christian nationalists. I don't care how they term it. We term it. Christian nationalism is exactly what we see in the Constitution. It's the freedom of people to be free, freedom even of Christianity, freedom to not be a Christian. However, there are certain, using rationale and reason, you cannot be Islamic in a free state. You cannot be, I don't even know if you can be Hindu, because it's a slave caste system. You can't be Hindu. So for those things to be in our country, I think are absurd. I think they should be illegal. That's my personal opinion. We should vote on it as Christians. But when you have a religion that's wants to kill you because you're not part of that religion, or if you are part of the religion and you don't like it, you want to leave it, they want to kill you. So I'm just using logic here. Anyway, but we need to bring churches back into the culture, into the halls of governance, because right now in the halls of governance is homosexuality and DEI and all this Marxist cultural stuff, and we need to fight it. So now that and this is just a prime example. India's first transgender clinic shuts down after losing its USA aid funding with no hope of resuming. So they were not making any money. It was all through our taxes. And it's not even my taxes. It's my grandchildren's taxes, right? They're going to be paying for this because we're all in debt. I would maybe even their children's children, they're going to have to pay for this with their every paycheck is going to take a chunk off for the government. You know, Democrats want that, and then another chunk for this of my children's money that they work hard for and struggle for is paying for this now, because that's the Democrat. And of course the Democrats have been stealing part of that for their own wealth. There's been this huge monumental shift of wealth from us to the Democrats over the last 4 years and through Obama. The shift of wealth to all this and to their agenda, to their activism. They have been pushing this, forcing this through government, through corruption, and through their Democrat minions and the Marxist minions here in America. And we Christians have not been fighting back against it because we have been going along to get along. We've been weak about it. Our churches are shrinking. We're not being tough. Tough love is what we need now in America. Across, in our neighborhoods, in our groups, we rebuke. We need rebuke to happen in our culture, and we're not doing it. And we need to rebuke. We need to even be iron sharpening iron. We need to fellowship with other Christians, and sometimes iron sharpening iron is going to make some sparks, and we need to do that because this is what's happening. The millions to billions is being funneled to Democrats through our taxes. They have allowed it to happen, and they have hidden it. And the media and the Democrats are fighting it so hard. They're stealing our money. They're taking it. They're getting rich off of it. The Democrat politicians are. Some Republicans, anyone that can buy off, including Republicans, are getting rich off of this. And thank God that, you know, Trump and Elon Musk and the Doge are doing this. But it's not. It's only the beginning of this. Here's my thing. If people are not arrested or whatever, arrested and convicted, charged, put on trial, and, you know, guilty or innocent, the trials need to occur, and trial, you know, with the jury, and this needs to happen on a wide scale, because this is huge. The amount of theft happening at the government level through the Democrats, because remember, Washington D.C. is like 99% Democrat. The wealthiest counties are in Washington D.C. because they have been grifting and taking and stealing the money. If people are not getting you know, tried or whatever, the whole process going through the judicial system, if that doesn't happen, this is going to get way worse when they get rid of Trump, because they're going to remember, the media and the Democrats are going to come back. Evil always returns. It's festering right now. It's retreating right now. It's fighting, but it's retreating. It's in retreat mode and screaming and yelling and whining as it retreats. But it's going to grow again. It's going to fester again and attack bigger next time if no one gets arrested and you know, arrested, because obviously there was criminality in this, and if no one gets arrested under the Biden administration or the Obama administration, Obama, we know, ran this cabinet. That's my opinion on this. If nobody gets arrested, we're going to it's going to happen again, and it's going to be worse, because they know under Trump and under Doge and under Elon Musk, no one got arrested. So who cares if we get caught or not? We're going to do it again tenfold. So I'm just praying that true justice is going to happen. I mean, the only true justice is when Jesus comes. But again, this exposure, and if no one gets arrested, none of this criminality is actually solved, we're in big trouble, like later on, as great as this is now. So here it is. This video shows you know, this is her and them celebrating with a TikTok video of our taxes, like in Germany. But this is the Democrats, socialists, Marxists. They're celebrating that they came to get taxes from the people, that their money, you know, the people's hard-earned money, the government is taking from them, which is, you know, the norm for kings and tyrants and dictators and all that. And they're celebrating it here on TikTok and just having a good old time about taking the money, taking the hardworking German people's money, and that's exactly what they are, evil or whatever. So that's just my little video here. I'm gonna have one little cautionary, interesting thing here. I could go on, but Disney scuttled a trans character in its new show and included a Christian character for the first time in 30 years. Pixar scrubs trans character storyline from the new series. We recognize that many parents would prefer to discuss certain subjects with their children. And they put in a Christian prayer. Ooh. In the first episode of the show, the main character, Lori, is seen praying before one of her games. Dear Heavenly Father, please give me strength. I have faith, but sometimes the doubt creeps in. I promise I'll be good, and I won't do that again. I'm not sure where you stand on it, but I won't do it. I just wanted to catch a ball or get a hit for my team, of course. Isn't that cool? That's like, whoa. Very interesting. Now, cautionary, Disney, I don't know. But for them to put that in, just give us an equal playing ground as far as our faith against everyone else, They can't even do that. They got to cheat and promote trans or gay. But this is an encouraging thing. I'm not going to watch the show because I'm not interested in the show, but that's really neat. So, this is what I my role playing game is the goal is to get kids to actually say the gospel in the game, the same sort of thing, and hopefully that is what's going to happen in more and more material. That that's the goal. The goal is to get Christianity out there more and more, and not perfect Christianity. I don't want perfect Christianity. I want, humble, mistaken, goofy Christianity. And that's what my games are all about here, the role playing, because we're silly and fun, but we're playing as Christians, and we make mistakes in the game. And that's important to know and to feel comfortable so that you can keep trying and keep doing it and keep honing in on your faith as you go. And yeah, there's a lot of silliness in it too, but it's a lot of really enjoyable. Anyway, so if you're interested in that, I've got them on Amazon. Just look these up. I've got other books I've written there. Some cool, fun adventure stuff. Alfred, I'm working on volume 6 right now, or book 6. Anyway, so that's it in the game of life. I got a lot of other good news that I'm going to probably bring up later, but so I'm doing really well, just so you all know. Doing really well now. Bidenomics, man. Survived. I know a lot of you have the lockdowns, Bidenomics. I know a lot of you probably have tough stories as well, or way tougher than mine probably. But hopefully you guys are coming out of it now with this Trump thing, and hopefully, things are gonna go for the better. But we know what happens in the end, and Jesus comes, and hopefully. So anyway, the game of life, everybody. Roll holy dice. It's way over here now. Where is it now?